Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Is that Donna Duplessis?
Yes, you've got
saying
it
that
right.
correctly?
You've got it right. There's not many people that have got the because it's a South African surname, so
Oh,
most people say
cool.
Duplessis. So you got it right.
Cool. Hi, Donna.
Hello. How are
Hi,
you?
hi. Good, thank you. My name is Amanda. I'm a provisional psychology doing my honors here. And the interview today is about assessing requirements.
Okay.
So I have to inform you due to that reason the session here is recorded. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, and also I need to share the recording with my supervisor.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
for the goal to improving my work.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
fine.
cool. Thank you for that. Have you received the client agreement on the concept form?
I did, but I haven't signed it yet.
Cool. I got it right
Oh,
here
you
with
do?
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Good.
Have you got a chance to have a look?
Yes, I did
Yes.
have a look. Yeah.
Okay. I have to go through with you about some key points.
Yes.
Anything that we said in this room gonna stay in this room is about
Yes.
the confidentiality.
Yes.
However, there are some limitations.
Yes.
So when you disclose that you may hurt yourself or you hurt anybody else, I have to contact the authorities.
Okay.
And also there's another thing, if the court requires me to share that recording,
Yes.
I'll have to share with the court.
All right.
And also, I don't think it's gonna happen, but if you disclose that you might commit a crime,
Yes.
I also need to disclose to the authorities.
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's
Okay.
fine. I'm happy to sign.
Okay, good, thank you. So if you could have a look here, put your name down and your signature
All right.
here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
What's the date today?
Today is 18th.
There we go.
Thank you so
very
much, Donna. And now
Thanks.
the housekeeping work is done. Let's start. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today?
Okay, so I think what brought me here today is I've been in Sydney for about a year.
Yeah.
I moved here from South Africa, and I'm just really struggling at the moment. I think the main area I'm struggling in is I'm struggling to make friends. Yeah, so I'm studying at university, and it's just really hard to make friends. So I'm struggling.
Is that okay? I'll just take a little bit notes
Yeah,
for
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep the summary.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So you're saying you just came to Sydney about a year ago?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's everything else going?
Yeah, going okay. I've got, so like I said, I'm studying, and
Yeah.
I've got like a little part-time job
Oh, cool.
at a cafe around the corner from me.
Yeah.
But it's only on Saturdays, so it's quite small. And then, yeah, I think I just am just struggling to connect with people. Like I'm feeling quite
Mhm.
alone. And I think in the beginning, like I tried lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was nice because I mean Sydney's new and it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
So I like went to meetups and I went to a photography club
Oh,
down at
that's
the
cool.
town hall, and but I think I can just feel that my energy has grown less like the last 3 months or so.
Okay. So you were saying that you enjoy Sydney at the very beginning,
Yes.
and then there's a new city, new environment, and you used to it or not yet?
No, I feel like there's so much learning to do when you
So
move.
much
You know,
learning,
yeah.
And but you get the enjoyment about being to the new
Yes,
city,
yes,
and you
it
try
was
a lot
nice.
of fun things.
Yeah.
And can you tell me do you remember about what makes the trigger to 3 months ago? What makes the trigger to suddenly?
I know this sounds like silly, but
Nothing is silly.
yeah, I think I was just walking out of class and I heard some of my classmates talk about me, and it just really knocked me a little bit. It knocked my confidence. And I've been working so hard to try and make friends, but everyone kind of seems to have already formed their own groups. You know, it's hard just to try and fit in.
Yeah.
So I think I stopped trying. You know, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were saying you heard that your classmate may be talking about you.
yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Horrible. I think I just feel like I showed up with my best intentions, and I showed up as myself. You know, it's almost like when you immigrate, it feels like it's like you leave everything behind to start fresh, and you completely invested in this new country and you're putting yourself out there, and like if you get rejected, it's like you've got nothing to fall back on. This is it, you know. This
Okay.
is
I hear you that you try so hard to make friends and then you don't think they want to do the same way.
Yeah,
It must be
feel
very
sorry for-
hard for you.
Yeah.
How bad do you think it has been on? Is that affect how you saying that from the referral that you couldn't get out of bed? How is that affecting your study?
So I think my studies are okay. I'm managing to attend my lectures. I'm a little bit behind on my assessments, but it's okay. I think the studies are okay. I'm managing to go to my job on Saturdays, but I just don't have energy. So I'm doing the basics, but I don't have energy for anything else. So, like if it's Sunday and I don't have an assessment, I might just like stay in bed and watch Netflix, you know. Which is, I know it doesn't, and then by the time I hit lunchtime, I don't feel good about myself because I've just been in bed the whole morning.
Okay. So you're saying that you don't feel good about yourself when you can't get out to do the job that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
How about appetite? Are you having enough to eat? Are you still feel hungry?
No, like I think it was so nice when I moved here because there's so many different cuisines in Sydney. Like I feel like you could go to a different restaurant every day and for the rest of your life you would never manage to finish visiting all the restaurants in Sydney.
Sydney is very international.
It is, but it's but I think I just haven't been as adventurous in going out. Like I haven't felt like it. Like in the beginning I went, I feel like means, you know, or something like that, but at the moment, no, you know.
Okay. Can I just ask, do you have any sort of hurting or harming yourself?
No. No, I don't.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
How about your uni stuff? You said that you're falling a little bit behind your science.
Yeah.
Is that very bad, or you still? What is your average grade?
So I think it's hard to say. Like some units are better than others, but I would say I get like between either a credit or a distinction. So that's like I think that's 70 or 80. I can't quite remember the percentages.
It's okay.
But it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. It's just.
Can I ask, what are you studying?
I'm studying engineering.
Engineering.
Yes.
That sounds a bit hard, isn't it?
Fortunately, I like math.
Oh, that's great. So your favorite subject will
Yes.
be math.
Yes.
So school and uni going quite good for you?
Yes,
That isn't infecting too much?
Yeah.
It's just more about the social
That's
side
right.
of your life, right?
Yeah.
How about, can I ask, how were you as a child? Maybe in South Africa, how was your social groups going?
So I think maybe that's like even part of the problem is that in South Africa, I had this like group of friends where we'd grown up like within a 3-kilometer radius of each other, and I have been friends. Like I can remember some of my friends from when I was 10.
Wow.
So it's like we've been friends now for 12, 13 years, you know. It's so it's really like it's deep friendships, you know. You go through everything together. We were there for like our first boyfriends and first kiss and first breakup, and we sort of like laughed together, we've cried together, we've like break up, eaten ice cream together, so it feels like we've been through everything together, and I really miss them. And I think just there was nobody in the group that was nasty with each other. Like everybody loved everybody.
Everybody's
it's such a tight community, and and I suppose that's also why it really affected me when I heard my classmates talk about me, because I just felt like I hadn't really experienced that in my friendship group before. Yeah.
So you were saying, like, back in South Africa, you had a very close group of friends. You grew up together, and you have a very steady and maybe easygoing friendship around there.
Yes, that's right. You could really be yourself, And so it's almost like here in Sydney, I am myself, but then that's not good enough, and that makes me feel very down. So.
Can I bring you a little bit before that.
Yes.
Did you remember how you make friends with them?
I think our parents were friends actually, and we went to the same school because we were in the same sort of area. We went to the same school together.
Yeah, I know that was your baby younger, and now right now it's like adult friendship. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But do you find that making friends a bit easier in South Africa compared to Australia?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think maybe there's some cultural differences. Maybe I feel a bit like, in a sense, maybe being in Sydney, I can look at my South African culture better and I can understand South African culture a bit better. When you're in it, you don't always see it.
Yeah.
And so when I look back at my culture, I see that there were some things that were good and some things that were maybe not so good. So, but I think the positive things about South Africa is like the people are very warm.
Oh.
So you can like literally, you can walk up to like a cashier at the supermarket and you can have like a conversation, like a meaningful conversation with a total stranger. And it's like, that's one of the things I love about South Africa is that people are just incredibly warm and hospitable and welcoming and inclusive, I think is a good word. Like here, things don't feel as inclusive, even though I know that Australia is like an inclusive society, you know, but I just, I'm struggling to like break into these groups that are already formed, you know.
Okay, I know, that must be very hard for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with South African culture, so but this section is all about you.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead with my question.
Right,
but if I say that incorrectly or inappropriate, you just please clarify with me.
Sure.
Yeah. So you were saying that South Africa is pretty much a very close group. Can I ask you, if you were an outsider, a new people coming to South Africa, do you think that people can easily adapt into it?
That's also a very good question. I think yes. I think people do get drawn in quite quickly in broader social groups. I do find, because it's interesting, because South Africa doesn't have one culture as much as what it has lots of different cultures. And so even if you're a white South African, there are different cultural lines, even for white people. Yeah. So like there's English speaking culture and Afrikaans speaking culture. So I think, but I think people are pretty warm and welcoming.
So you feel a bit different between South African culture and Australian culture. And how have you feeling that you changed yourself a lot after you've been to Australia?
I feel like I have changed. And it's interesting because I've been here for a year, but I did go back. It was my mom's 60th birthday, and I went back for her birthday. And it was a short visit. It was only a week, and I didn't think I had changed that much. But when I went back, I realized, I've already changed. I've only been here, at that stage it was 8 months. I've only been here 8 months, but I could already see I've changed. So that was weird, because now I'm not fully South African, and I'm also not fully Australian. I feel very much caught in the middle. So so it's a little bit of a, maybe it's even like a identity thing, like I don't quite know, who am I even, you know, I'm supposed to be making friends, but who am I?
So you have a bit confusion about your identity as a background with South Africa, but you need to adapt yourself. You try to make yourself adapt to Australian culture. Can I ask, what is the part that you think you like or dislike about yourself right now, or maybe the changes that you made that you like or dislike?
I think I'm more open to new experiences. I think I am less judgmental. I think I've become more superficial, but maybe that's just because of the environment I'm in. So I'm not as deep. Like in South Africa, you can go very deep very quickly with people, but I'm probably more superficial, which maybe isn't a bad thing. You know, maybe it's maybe it's good to get to know people. Maybe we go too deep too quickly in South Africa. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, but maybe it's good to take it slowly. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's
So-
hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, yeah.
So you need in a very confusing time, a period of finding yourself, who you are, or what you want to be in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
must
I
be-
think that's
yeah.
a good summary. Yeah.
And that's also you are in your 20s.
Yes.
There's a lot of young people
Yeah.
going through that stage,
Ah, yeah.
looking
yeah.
for their identity,
Yeah.
looking for who we truly are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
completely normal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Besides your anxious to making friends, are there any other experimental problem that you have previously come
No.
to? Have you
I had
ever?
very bad insomnia when I was like 11. I had very bad insomnia, but
Insomnia.
yeah, but it's better now. The doctor gave me medication. I was on sleeping pills for a short period of time, like a light dose,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped me, and I'm
So-
better now.
So sorry. Before the you said doctor prescribed you medication. Have you seen psychology or counseling at that period?
No.
No. So just the doctor's
Yeah.
medication.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you seen any diagnosis in your mental or?
No. I
No?
think at that stage I was a little bit anxious, I think, but I don't
Mhm.
really know. My mum didn't share with me
Okay.
what the doctor had said. But I do know I was feeling a bit anxious then. But I've never been told that I have anxiety. You know.
Okay.
I
So
just
it's not a
remember feeling
proper
a bit
diagnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone in your family maybe have a mental diagnosis or anything?
Like my mum was very anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She
She's very
have
anxious.
any diagnosis or that's
Yeah, no,
just
she's
just
definitely-
generally an anxious person?
Definitely diagnosed. she's she's on medication and to manage that. And
Okay.
we can and I'm not poking fun at her. It's
Mhm.
just you know she's quite open about it. You know that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So growing up with her, like a very anxious mom, does that make you feel? What does that make you feel? Or maybe you can give me a describe of your day with her.
I think she would verbalize her anxiety a lot, so she would just, you know, she would, it's almost like stream of consciousness, like she would just be talking the whole time about, well, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that, I'm anxious about this, I'm anxious about that, I'm worried about this. And so that's why my friendship group, I felt that my friendship group was very good for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I could talk to them. It's almost like they were not anxious, so
Mm-hmm.
I could see a difference between them and my mum, you know.
Okay.
I could see what it looks like not to have anxiety, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm very glad I had that. If I
Okay.
didn't have that, I would think it was normal to be that worried.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I say, making a nice friendship, containing a nice close friendship group, will be the strength to live with an anxious mom growing up.
Yeah. And maybe I'm feeling, and putting it that way, I think maybe that's what I'm feeling. Maybe I'm feeling a bit anxious, but I don't have a friendship group here to.
Okay, that
Hold
must
me,
be
maybe.
that's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, I think that there's something about that, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying grow up with your mom with anxious mom
Mhm.
actually gave the anxious seed in you, and then but the friendship is kind of like strength.
Yes.
And then you want to
yeah.
have the same strength in
Yeah.
Australia, but it's not happening at the
I
moment.
think so.
Yeah, that must be very hard for you.
Yeah.
Back then, have you ever tried to? What do you do with your anxious when you feeling can't get out of bed? Do you use alcohol or smoking?
No, I think besides the sleeping medication I had when I was 11, I didn't. I mean, like I would have a little bit of anxiety, but never so much that I ever felt I had to drink or do drugs or anything like that.
Do you drink?
I mean, I might have a glass of wine now and then, you know,
Okay.
but
Nothing
not
too,
really, no.
nothing too serious. Okay,
my dad was an alcoholic, so I prefer not to drink.
so you prefer not to drink. Okay. How about smoking or any substance use?
No, I don't do that.
Okay, good.
I don't like the taste.
Good.
Yeah.
How about your legal history? Do you have any past or current legal issues back then and now?
No, I had a couple of unpaid parking tickets.
That's okay.
But that's okay. We
Yeah.
sorted that out.
Yeah. How about your general health in all? Can you tell me
Yeah.
like how was your sleeping now compared? You said that was 11 years ago. 11 years.
Yeah, I think it's I think my sleeping isn't fantastic lately. I suppose that's also changed. Like I think the last 3 months or so, since I've been feeling down, I've also not been sleeping as well. Yeah.
So how bad do you think? Like how was your sleeping routine? But you said sometimes, some days, if you don't have the energy to get up, so you will stay bed all day.
Oh,
Is that sleeping or just playing maybe a device?
I think it doesn't matter if I slept well or not. The getting out of bed, struggling to get out of bed is there, whether I slept well or not. But I fall asleep easily, but I've been waking up like middle of the night and just having massive insomnia. So
did you have bad dreams? No bad dreams.
I just wake up like heart beating, and then I struggle to fall asleep again.
So you can't fall asleep after that. Okay. Have any headaches or stomach ache? Any problem like that? No. Okay. Do you exercise?
I do. I like walking because Sydney's so beautiful. You can see the water just about anywhere you go. So I love walking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How often do you walk and how long would it take you?
Every day. So I like walking every day. But look, it's not always like brisk power walk. Sometimes it's just like a little amble around the neighborhood. I would say at least 20 minutes, sometimes half an hour.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's like part of it is exercise and moving my body, but part of it is also just enjoying nature because I really love nature.
So can we talk a little bit more about your family history? You mentioned that you have a very anxious mom and an alcoholic dad. Do you have any siblings or how was the family going?
3 brothers.
3 brothers. Wow. How is that like?
Let's just say I know how to wrestle. No, yeah, I think it was interesting growing up because I think they were very much into their sports. I was very much into my friends, and I suppose we had our own coping mechanisms and things. I think they were very angry at my dad. And they all dealt with it differently. Like, John, who's my eldest brother, he would kind of have the sense of responsibility for my dad, so he'd try and help him.
So he's the older one?
Yeah, he's the eldest. And then the next one, Jack, he just completely, he like barely spoke to my dad. He was just always out the house doing sport and being out. And then Tom I feel very sorry for because then it was me and then my little brother Tom. My dad was pretty nasty to him, so I really feel sorry for him, and part of me even feels bad because I mean he's so what am I now, 23, so he's still in school, he's 17, and I feel a bit bad for being here and studying and leaving him there, but at the same time I know my brothers are there to keep an eye on him, so that helps me. So
you're a little bit worried about that you left and you can't protect your little brother John.
Yeah, because Tom, because he's like he's and look, it's like my dad was mean to him when he was little. He's not mean to him anymore because Tom's now grown up. He's 17. He's actually taller than my dad now. So I think my dad doesn't even try with him.
Your dad
he doesn't.
Him?
He shoved him around a lot, you know. But I think, I just Tom really struggles with depression as well. So I think, so my mom has anxiety, Tom has depression. So I suppose I'm also a bit worried that I might potentially have depression. So, because I see some similarities in what Tom is experiencing and what I'm experiencing. So, yeah.
So that family history being a little bit worried for you, and you you mentioned that you feel a little bit maybe guilty. Am I feeling it right? That you come to Sydney, you left your little brother in there. Is that the right feeling?
Yeah.
How was your feeling towards your dad?
Whatever. That guy. I don't want to even spend time thinking about him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just whatever.
Yeah. So how was you with your brothers? You have a very
I love my brothers.
little Tom.
I love my brothers. They're I always look at them and I think it's so amazing that you turned out the way you did, having a father like you had. And even my mom's anxiety, I don't want to blame her, you know. I totally get why she's anxious. But like they've just turned out good, you know. It's like they've just decided they're not going to live like that, which it's really amazing to me. So I love them and I have a deep respect for them.
So you're saying that your brother's setting up a very good role model for you in your life, that maybe the dad haven't set it up for you.
Yeah, and I think even, and they might even say the same about me, you know, that I think all of us, we didn't lie down under the trauma, like we all have risen in our different ways. I think maybe part of the thing that's difficult for me is I did so well, like I did well not to fall down under my experiences at home. But now that I've come to Sydney, where it's like I'm in this amazing city, I have this brand new opportunity, I'm studying here, and now I feel like me being depressed, maybe, I don't know if I am depressed, but if I am depressed, I feel like a failure. Like, you know, I stood up, I was able to endure so much at home, but now I can't even hear, you know, I like in a sense I have life easy, but all I have to do is study and have a little job at a cafe for 1 day a week, and I'm not managing, you know, and now I feel like a failure too, you know. Yeah.
So because your life seems a little bit easy in South Africa, you have your family to support you, and you have grown up with a little friendship group, but you just came to Sydney about a year ago, and you're facing everything, a new environment, everything is new, and you have no one in here, so you're starting from scratch. So and you maybe you're feeling like you're not doing as well as you thought you would be, because you was doing so good at South Africa. You feel like a failure to yourself.
Yeah, and it's more a thing of things were tough in South Africa. My friendship group was amazing.
Okay.
Things were tough in South Africa, but they are easier here. So I should be doing better than what I was in South Africa, even though I don't have friends here and I had friends there. So I just feel a bit like a failure now, you know.
But we mentioned it before, the South Africa culture maybe more warm. And did you feel like Australian people maybe more individualism? So it's very hard to get into a new country and straight away make new close friends.
And I think I think I'm probably just feeling like not the support, you know, not supported. Which I battle with myself because I don't like feeling like I need support, but clearly I need support. So I'm trying not to feel like a failure.
Okay. Can I just clarify with you, by support, do you mean the support from the school, or the support from maybe a therapy?
I mean, I think therapy would be very supportive. And so, but I think even just social support. I have to make it, like, point out to you that it's very brave for you to notice that, and very brave for you to take the first step to come to see a therapy, which is a very big step for a lot of people. And people, I know people maybe in South Africa, they say, why are you seeing a why do you seeing psychology? You something wrong with you, and you failed to do everything. But it's okay. It's okay. We've all been there, and it's okay that you come to the first step into that.
Can I also ask a few more questions
Yes, sure.
about your social group? Who is your best friend? Tell me about her or he.
Yeah, so I think my best friend is Linda. Like I've known, she was my first friend, and Linda is like, she's crazy. She's totally wild, but is probably the most intelligent person I know, but then also the kindest person I know, which is such a I just feel like I'm so lucky to have her. She has the ability to go deep immediately, so when I sit down with her, it's like now I haven't actually had contact with her for a long time. I've been busy, she's been busy, but I had a call with her over the weekend over WhatsApp, and it wasn't even like, oh, so tell me that. It wasn't even like that. It was like, dude, you know what happened in class? You know, we just like both dove in, because she's also studying psychology, but we both could just like dive in straight away and immediately just start analyzing, and you know. So it was so like I appreciate my friendship with her. Yeah, she's my closest friend.
Okay, so what do you do normally when you in South Africa with her? What's your day like with her?
We talk a lot. So but we do spend a lot of time together as a group. We get together, actually we have like a standing, it's not a date, like a friendship date, where we all get together on Saturday mornings at a coffee shop, and we're just like spend time together. But beyond that, she actually studies in a different city, so but she'll occasionally come and spend the weekend at my house.
So you're saying that talking is a very big component in your friendship, and talking to people is very important to you.
It is, yeah. I think it's a thing of like knowing someone and being known.
Being heard.
Yeah, being heard
is very important.
And being like, I suppose, I know this is a weird way to say it, but like being held, you know. Yeah,
that must feel very warm and supportive for you. That's the support that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's different in Australia. You can't get anyone to
can't go deep.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's the thing. And maybe I need to change my expectations. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. Is this a me problem? Is this a culture difference? Is this what is this? Like I'm struggling to draw up the lines and understand. What part is me? What part is just the stress of moving? What part of it is just cultural differences? Like it's hard for me to tell.
So can I just make it clear for your goal to come to see me? I just brought up the question because I think I need to get to know you better to see what your goal actually are. Can I just clarify with you? My understanding is that you new to this country, and you finding hard to adapt into the new environment and culture. But at the same time, you find a little bit confusing about who you are. And you could find that I have this very good friendship and very deep, but is that everybody want that? Or you think is that the only friendship or the correct friendship? Maybe you were exploring different style of friendship even.
That is and I suppose to understand why am I struggling, you know. I think like I almost feel like I need to understand why I'm struggling before I can move forward with a solution, you know. And I feel like I can't see properly why I'm struggling.
So it's not only about the social problem, it's also about who you are. That's the goal for your therapy. Come to see me. Yes. So I'm so sorry, we're about to finish our time, and then can I do a little bit clarifying? I've asked you a lot of questions.
No, that's good.
Thank you so much for opening to me, and you tell me everything about your family, about your dad's alcoholic and your mom's anxious. That was great sharing. Thank you for that.
Good.
And then I understand that you have very good close friendship growing up in South Africa, and making friends wasn't that hard for you in there. That's why you find it so hard to do it in Australia. Is that right?
Yeah, I think, and I probably need to figure out a little bit better why it's so hard in Australia. Like I know part of it. Like I don't ever want to be a person who says, "Oh, it's just other people." You know, I know part of this is me. Part of this might be culture. Part of this might be stress and you know, things like that. It's just to unpack that and understand. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the feeling like you are outsider now, or is that too much to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely do feel like an outsider, but also I can look at people in Australia and understand that there are people from all over the world here, you know, so there's not really one group and I'm outside the group. But definitely at my university, I feel like there are groups and I'm outside the friendship groups at university. Yeah.
So you were saying you don't feel like, you do feel like an outsider right now, but you also considering Australia is a multicultural country, so you don't think that's the main problem. You just need to find a way to get to know who you are and maybe change a little bit to the way that you will like yourself more and get into more social activities. Yeah, like the one that you just said, the Photoshops things.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely explore that. Yeah.
Yeah.